Hey folks, this is Vincent Utterly with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to play Turing Machine. This is a game for 1 to 4 players. It's for ages 14 and up, and the average play time is about 20 minutes. This is a competitive and a solo/co-op game, so you can play either way. Here's a quick look at the box insert. These are the things that we're not currently using for this particular playthrough. This dry erase marker is optional. You can use it to mark off the back of these square cards, which I'll explain in a minute. We're not going to do that. We're just going to keep track of where these cards belong. More on that in a minute. Here's a quick look at the rulebook. Kind of a weird design, this. There's no front. It's just green. Kind of weird. The goal of the game is to figure out a 3-digit code. That's it. Just figure out a 3-digit code. But we're going to be asking this machine various questions that are pre-programmed for us depending on the scenario. And these are yes or no questions. And when we check our question with the computer, it'll give us a yes or no based on the criteria. It'll make more sense as you actually see us play it. Worth mentioning, this is our first time playing. So we're going to try and get all the rules right, but as I always say, we're here to spread awareness, so we might get something wrong, but we're going to try not to. Rulebook is about 8 pages long. There's a description in the back of the rulebook for all of the different question cards that you may be presented with. As far as the other components, these are all answer keys that will make no sense to you if you flip them over like so, but they are numbered. There's green, yellow numbers, blue numbers, purple numbers, and the scenario will tell you which of these to use for your current playthrough. So for example, there's puzzles in the book. There's like 16 of them or so. And there are millions of them on turingmachine.info. You can set up your scenario via phone if you want to. It's just a web browser, and it'll give you a randomly generated one. You can type in a particular puzzle number if you want to, but you can also pick between competitive and co-op play. So you can generate a puzzle here. And what I've done is, this is the screen that you get once you set everything up. And this may be problematic. I'm hoping this will actually focus correctly. It may not. So it's just this white background is not very helpful. But what you're given here, and I'll just show you via the rulebook because it'll be easier. Let's see. So when you're setting up the scenario, here's an example of scenario number 1. It wants you to use 4 different square cards. Number 4, number 9, number 11, and number 14. These are the rectangular cards here. I said square, I meant rectangular, my bad. And they are numbered on the very bottom. This is number 13, for example. And this one here is number 9. These are the different questions that we can pose to the computer for that scenario. To the right of that are larger numbers, 447, 646, 566, 322, and they are in green. So we would find that number amongst all of this madness. This number is 201. I would go through this deck, this square deck here, and try and find 447 out of all of this, and I have them in order, 614.
Does it have a shape next to them?
No, just, it's the color. It's by color.
Oh. Okay.
So if you look in the rulebook, there's a green 447. This one is a blue 677. This is a yellow 564. So you're going to go through these square cards, rotate it appropriately, and find the number that you're looking for. And you're going to place them out next to the letter that it tells you to. So for scenario 1, next to A, we would have the 4 card, which would be one of these. Next to A, there's A, B, C, D, E, and F. You may not use all the letters for your scenario. But for scenario number 1, you'd find the number 4 card, you'd put it here, and then next to that, you'd find 447 among the large square cards that I just showed you, and put it next to that. And you're going to do that for each of the letters. But again, I am using the scenario from the phone. This says, next to A, to use number 1. So I have the 1 card here, which is a question regarding the triangle, which, again, I'll get to later. It also says on my app, number 359. So what I did was I went through the large deck of square cards, I rotated them to the yellow side, found number 359, and I just put that right here. And I did that for all of the cards, A, B, C, and D.
Are they supposed to be yellow?
It's fine.
Oh,
Just
really?
just bear with me.
Sorry.
Bear with me.
I'm so
You can rotate it this way. It does not matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
You're just pulling. You're just gonna find the color and you're gonna pull that number.
Okay.
Don't worry about anything else right now.
Okay.
Okay. She's never seen this before.
Okay.
So,
So this is confusing.
it is. So just to recap, the scenario will give you a number for these question cards. You're gonna find them, number bottom middle, and you're going to put it next to the letter it tells you. You're also going to be given a larger number for that letter. You're going to go through the entire deck of these, find the color that it represents and the number it represents, find it, and then put it out here. And you're going to do that for all A, B, C, and D. The scenario may have an E and F. In the app, you can actually specify how many question criteria you want.
Cool.
I just chose 4 on difficulty easy for right now, and then it randomly generated one for me, which was kind of cool. So you're going to set that up with various questions. You have a score pad or a personal notepad that you can keep track of your notes. Essentially, you're going to guess one 3-digit number, and they are numbered 1 through 5. And you're trying to find 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1. Whatever the hidden code is, that's what you're trying to find. You're going to guess a 3-digit number here, and then you can choose 3 of these 4 questions to ask it about that number. So if my chosen number was 1, 2, 3, I would be able to compare 1, 2, 3 with maybe this one, and this one, and this one, or this one, and this one, or this one, whatever. Just choose 3 of them to compare that number to, and then you're going to mark off in the correct column. So I asked it about A, this question here, and I either got a yes or a no. I would put a check mark or an X. You can also write notes below as well for the different questions. So there's A, B, C, D, E, and F. So if I were to ask it something about about A, which is the triangle compared to 1, is the triangle equal to 1, or is the triangle blue triangle greater than 1? And depending on your choice, again, you're going to be choosing a 3-digit number to ask it. You're going to use that criteria, and then you're gonna look at the criteria. It'll either give you a yes or a no based on what you've asked it. Again, this is a game that I think makes more sense when you actually see it in action. It confused the heck out of me when I first started reading the rule book, but I think it'll make more sense when we actually start playing it. So suffice it to say, quick overview, you get a scenario, you find the cards, you put them out. Sometimes you'll have 4 questions and 4 answer keys. Sometimes you'll have 5 answers, or 5 questions and 5 answer keys. Ultimately, you're trying to find the hidden 3-digit number using these clues that you get. In the competitive mode, it's the first player to find that code before everyone else. Everyone in a round will, again, they'll pick 3 numbers separately and hide it behind their player screen. And they'll just pull as they need to get their answers. And then at the end of the round, all of them will either give a thumbs up or thumbs down or whatever. Thumbs up means you know what it is or you want to guess. Thumbs down means you're not ready to answer yet. So if someone picks a thumbs up, they're going to guess what the answer is. And if they are correct, they win the game. So you're in a race against other players to find that hidden number. In the cooperative mode, it's just you work together using one sheet of paper to answer the question or to find the code within the time limit.
Okay.
So it's actually a little bit, more cooperative. You can play this solo. You can play it cooperative any way you want to. These numbers here are numbered 1 through 5, and we're going to be pulling these to put over top these answer keys so that we can either get a green check mark or a red X depending on the criteria. So if we pick like 1, 2, 3, like blue 1, yellow 2, and purple 3, we're going to pull those slides, and you'll see that they have different holes in them. You're going to overlap them with this, and you'll get one answer, either yes or no. And then, yeah, we're going to keep doing that until we guess it, at least in the cooperative mode. I guess with that, I'll turn this light on. Okay, so we'll give this a try. Let's go ahead and just start with the first one.
Okay. With the player aid, I'm a little confused.
By what?
By, like, you have an X on this part, but then you have a check mark on the very last part. How do you know which test it's doing? Is it always going to be the first one?
No, it's based on the criteria. Yellow is less than purple.
Yeah.
In the number that you picked, 1, 2, 5, yellow is less than purple in this example.
Yeah.
So you would do this one. If you had picked 1, 5, 2, that 5 is yellow, and that would be higher than purple too. So you would get a red X or a green check mark for this over here.
But this one's saying no. So if the actual code...
You'll see it.
Okay, whatever. It's fine. All right, I got it. All right, let's go. I'm ready. I'm excited.
So our 4 questions that we can pose to the computer. This verifier verifies the triangle compared to the number 1. Is the triangle blue number equal to 1, or is it greater than 1? Once we have an answer, we won't have to pick this again, because it'll either be 1 or greater than 1. It doesn't tell us if it's 2, 3, 4, or 5. It just verifies whether or not it's higher than 1 or equal to 1.
It's just weird because it's only a yes or no. Like, but this seems like it's asking us 2 questions, so that's what I'm confused about.
You'll see.
Okay.
It's this. I know it seems like there's 2 answers, but we're going to either we're either going to compare this value or this value. If we pick 1, 3, 5 and use the number 1, we are asking it this. Are we saying it is 1 equal to 1?
Yeah.
And we're either going to get a green check mark or a red X.
Oh, okay.
If we picked
like 2,
the
3,
number
5.
2, 3, 4, or 5, we would be comparing it against this.
Okay.
And it'll give us either a green check mark or a red X.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's a little confusing.
Okay.
Like, this is, again, a game that I think we just need to play to get used to.
Yeah. Okay. So what's our first number? Or are we...
I'm going through the rest of these cards.
Sorry, go ahead.
The number of 3s in the code. So if you pick a number that have no 3s in it, like it says 0 3s, you would compare it to this. We're going to get either a red X or a green check mark.
Okay.
If there's 1 3 in the code that we picked, then we would compare it against this, and so on. So this, we're asking the computer the number of 3s in the code. This one is the square number compared to the purple number. If the yellow number is less than purple in the code that you picked, we're going to compare it against this. If the yellow number and the purple number are the same in the code that you picked, we would compare it against this.
Interesting.
And if the yellow number were higher, we'd compare it against this.
Okay.
Lastly, this will ask how many even numbers there are in the code. So if we pick 1, 3, 5, we would compare it against this because there are no even numbers in that 3-digit code. We're either going to get a green check mark or a red X there. In this example, we picked all even numbers, so we would compare it against this.
Okay.
So we're going to compare it against whatever we picked for our 3-digit number.
See. I think I'm getting it.
Okay.
Interesting.
So I guess the question is, I'll let you do this. Where do you want to start?
No. This is a co-op.
It is a co-op, but because you're having a harder time with this, so I'm really curious to see what.
I'll pick the first digit. Let's pick 7.
There is no.
I know. I'm just kidding.
You're hurting me right now.
Kidding.
1 through 5.
Sorry.
Let's pick 1,000,000.
No. Okay. Let's pick 2.
You're gonna pick 2. All right. So I'm just gonna write down the number 2 here. What about the yellow and purple numbers?
Yellow. I want to pick.
So we're writing our first guess on this first line. Is what I'm doing.
Well, go ahead. You pick the second digit.
Why would I do that?
Because this is a co-op game.
You keep going.
Pick this.
I want you to learn.
I think I get it.
Go.
5 and 4.
5 and 4. Thank you. All right. So 5 and 4.
Okay.
I would have gone with something different. But
Really?
That's okay. So it doesn't matter. So 2, 5, 4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the number 2, the blue 2, out of here. We're going to get the yellow 5.
Yep, and the purple 4.
Yeah, these are all stuck together. All right. There are multiple cards of each, but all right. And then the purple 4.
Okay. I wonder why there are. Is it because it's a competitive?
Again, competitive. As players guess different numbers, simultaneously they will pull from here.
So it's just a race on who guesses first?
Well, again, you don't actually guess until the end of the round. So let's say that everyone's taken the purple 5 and you need the purple 5. You just wait for them to finish and then you use it.
Yeah, okay.
So we don't actually, in a competitive game,
I see.
everyone at the same time will say either yay or nay as to whether or not they think they know what it is. So everyone gets a fair shake in competitive. Okay. So we picked 2, 5, 4, right? Okay. So we've got the blue 2, yellow 5. Now we can ask it 3 questions for this number. We don't have to ask it all 3 if we don't want to. In a competitive game, the less questions you ask it will help you in a tiebreaker situation. So, but you can ask it a total of 3 questions for the first round. So which of these 4 cards do you want to ask it first? Do you want to start with A, just to see if we would be comparing it with, if we did A, we would be saying that the triangle is greater than 1 because we picked 2. So do we want to verify if the number is greater than 1 or not? It's up to you. You're shaking your head now.
I was thinking these.
Okay, so you want to do D. Okay, so what we're saying is we've got 2, 5, and 4. That means the number, how many even numbers there are in the code. So there are 2 even numbers in the code, so we are asking it this. Okay? So now we are going to take this. We're going to line up the circle, the square, and the triangle. Again, rotating it different ways does not matter. It can only be oriented one way in order for this to work. The different numbers are just for setup only. The colors and the numbers are for setup only.
What about the shapes in the corners?
Again, you're gonna. These all have triangle, square, circle. So you're gonna line them up. And now if I just do something like that, now we got a red X.
Oh wow!
So now we know. So based on this, we're gonna under D mark an X, which tells us that there are not 2 even numbers in this code. But that's all we know. That means the code will not be 2, 4. There's never going to be 2 even numbers in the code.
Cool. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Now we're going to put that back. And now we pick 2 others to ask it for 2, 5, 4. This one. Yeah. This says if the yellow number is higher than the purple number. Okay, in this case, yellow is higher than purple. So we are asking it this.
Yes.
Is yellow greater than purple?
Yes.
So we are going to take this. We are going to line up the shapes.
Oh, okay, I see.
And it is an X. So yellow, so what it's telling us is yellow is not higher than purple. Or, yeah, yellow is not higher than purple. It could still be this. Yeah. They could be the same, and it could be this, where yellow is less than purple.
Yes.
So we are also going to put an X under C to show that we got an X for that result.
Cool.
Okay. So if yellow... Okay, so there's nothing else we can really cross out here yet.
Not yet.
So we have one more question we can ask it. It's going to be one of these over here, or we can stop and move on to a different number. It's up to you.
Oh, so we don't have to?
We don't have to ask it 3 questions. Again, the less questions you ask, the better your chances in a tiebreaker.
So that's only for competitive. So for solo...
Really? Yeah, in solo co-op, you're trying to get the code with the least amount of guesses and rounds.
Yeah, so it doesn't hurt to actually ask.
Yeah, for our learning purposes, just ask 3 questions around. It's fine.
What do you think is best?
You tell me. You're on a roll.
Fine. Yeah, okay.
All right. So we are going to ask it
That's 0
the number of threes in the code. So there are no threes in this code. So we are asking it 0 threes. Okay?
There's a good chance.
We'll see. All right, so we're going to line these up. And we got a green check mark.
So there are no
That means that there are no threes in this code. We don't never have to ask this question ever again.
Yeah.
So we can ignore B from here on out. We're going to put a check mark in B, and we can even note, well, it says there are no threes, right?
We just don't know where they are.
Well, no, there's just no threes in the code at all.
That's right.
So we can cross out 3, 3, 3.
Interesting.
So we know that blue is either 1, 2, 4, or 5, yellow is 1, 2, 4, or 5, and purple is 1, 2, 4, and 5, based on that information.
Well, then, if there's no threes at all,
Mm-hmm.
then there's no way that it can be 0 even numbers, right?
What do you mean?
Because if there's... Oh, wait, no, it still could be all even. Because there's no threes. Wait. Yeah. Oh, okay, because there still can be repeats. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So all we know right now is that there are no
There's no
threes
threes.
in the code.
Okay.
So now we are going to put back, because that was our 3 questions for that round. I'm going to put back the 4 and the 2. All right. And now we move on to round 2.
Okay.
And in a competitive game, this is where we would go hit at the same time, either up or down, to indicate that we're going to guess. But we obviously, no one would have the answer yet. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
So now for the second round. Now we pick 3 different numbers to write down for round 2. I'm going to... Let's see. I really want to know... we know the number of threes is 0. Now it says how many even numbers are there in the code? I'm going to try and pick all odds just to see if we get lucky with that one.
Okay.
I want to ask it, we're always going to ask it these 3 from here on out.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to ask this anymore. We already know there are no threes. So I'm going to go with 1. Because if it's yes, then we know the digit is a 1. Right? Because I'm going to ask it this one. Triangle equals 1. Okay. If it's a check mark, well, that means it is 1. If not, then it has to be a 4 or 5. Then I'm going to go with... so yellow... We do not want the yellow number to be higher than the purple number in our second guess, because we know it's not that.
Exactly.
So we either want them to be the same or maybe flip, like a 4 and a... No, we want different numbers. How about 3, 5? No, not 3.
No 3.
So maybe 1, 1, 5.
Yeah, I would say...
Just to see, like 1, 1, 5 or 1, 5, 5 or... so I'm trying to think of something else. Let's do 1, 1, 5. Just to see what we get out of that. So now we're going to be asking it a couple of different things. But let's go ahead and pull the numbers. So we want a blue 1. We want a yellow 1. And we want a purple 5.
Cool.
All right. Assuming, again, they're all stuck together. Okay. So 1, 1, 5 is going to be for round 2. And I'm going to ask it this first. Is... blue equal to 1. That's all I really care, because we've picked 1. Blue is not equal to 1.
Okay.
So for A, I'm going to put an X.
Yep. And we also know that blue is not 1.
Correct. So we're going to mark this off.
Cool.
And I'm going to show at the folks at home, this is what we've got so far, but we still have 2 more questions for the second round to ask it. All right. So with that in mind, what did I do with the... There it is. Okay. And the reason why there are letters on the back, with your dry erase marker, you could mark this as C, mark this as B, mark this as A. That way you can remember which answer keys go with what letter.
Oh, interesting.
But in the co-op, we're just going to take them one at a time.
Yeah,
but if multiple people are grabbing them and you
they could get lost,
confused or whatever, that's when you may want to mark the backs with a dry erase marker.
Yeah.
I'm going to... So from here on out, this is useless to us.
Yes.
Because now we know that blue is greater than 1. But that's it. And that's all this can tell us.
Yes.
If we ask it a 5 or a 4, it's going to give us a green check mark because it is...
greater than 1.
Yeah. So, actually, what did we get with this one? Oh, we didn't ask it 2. So we would have, had we asked this question on the first one, we would have gotten a check mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. So I'm going to ask it this, which is the yellow number, in this case, less than purple? So let's go ahead and compare that. I'm going to do that. It is a green check mark. So now we know that yellow is less than purple, and that was for C. So we're going to put a check mark under the C to indicate that yellow is less than purple.
Interesting.
So we've got that information going for us. Lastly, this one here. Are any of the numbers... In this case, we have no even numbers. So we're asking the computer, are there 0 even numbers?
Yep.
So we're going to do this. And, green check mark. All right. So we got a green check mark for D.
Okay.
So using this, I think we have enough information now to actually solve the puzzle. Let's go over what we know. Because we got answers to all of them, which means we should now be able to figure out the puzzle. Because we can't ask it really any more information.
Yeah.
So let's puzzle this out. We got under C, which was this one. Yellow is higher than purple. There are no even numbers, so 4 and 2 are not going to be the answer. So 2s and 4s are out, right? Correct?
Yes. So 5 is the only possible answer for the blue.
Correct. So blue is equal to 5.
Yes.
Okay. Now we're left with yellow and purple. What we know from the 1, we know that yellow
is
less than purple, right? And purple was, just to make sure I've got that right, we've got a check mark. Purple is higher. So that means that purple has to be 5 and yellow has to be 1. So 5, 1, 5 is going to be our guess. So now in our app, we are going to test a code. And I'm going to do 5. And again, I apologize. It's difficult to see because of the white background. I wonder if I can lower the
brightness.
The brightness. That's actually much better.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, 5, 1, 5. Oops, 1, 5. So 5, 1, 5. And I'm going to... It just says back to game. How do I just lock that in? Oh, verify down here. You beat the machine. Oh, did you? Congratulations. This is the correct code.
Very nice.
So we found the right code. Now, while I'm here, now that the screen is darkened a bit, and I think I'll do that again because this is really, really bright. There we go. Now you guys can actually see this. So yeah, A, B, C, D. This is the setup. This is the game number on the very top. And then you're given A, B, C, and D. The 1 is this, and the B9 is this, and so on. The A, 359. 359 is here for yellow, and so on. That's how you set this up. Going back to the home page, this is what you get. There's play, daily challenge, problem search, and game history. There's also a rules section, download note sheets, download game rules, and so on. So if I hit play, you can pick competitive or cooperative. You can pick mode, classic, extreme, or nightmare. In extreme, you're going to get 2 of these per letter, and the machine does not tell you which one it's verifying. In nightmare, it doesn't tell... You ask it questions, but you don't know which one... I don't know the full... I don't have a full understanding of nightmare.
I'm trying to play nightmare.
Yeah, well, you do that on your own time. There's also easy, standard, and hard. And then there's verifiers, 4, 5, or 6.
Cool.
Okay? So if I put easy and then 4 again, and I hit generate... Now it's giving us A4, that looks like a different one to me, A4, B5, C12, and D15. I would clean all of these up, I would go through this and find the yellow numbers on these, and I would find the bottom middle numbers on these and set them up next to their appropriate letter for this particular game. Mm-hmm. And that is Turing Machine. What did you think of this?
I love this game so much. Game of the decade. I wish I had this growing up. That would have kept me busy so much. Yeah, there's actually it says 20 in the rule book. Mm-hmm. The answers are down on the bottom right, so I'm going to cover them up. Oh, okay.
But it was 1 through 20. There's roughly 20 solutions, but then again, the online, it's not an app. You just go to the website, turingmachine.info, and you can interact with it as you saw just now.
I'd love to play competitive with you. I think you would destroy me in this, though.
No.
I think so.
No, not really.
This would be fun.
You liked it?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll do another video when we'll do a couple more puzzles.
Okay. Competitive?
We'll see.
Okay. Nightmare mode?
No.
Extreme?
Turing Machine. That was a quick overview / demo of it. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince and Ida Lee. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care.
Bye, guys.